Why does it kind of look like my eyes have no pupils? The light shining on my contacts or something. Do you know why they're called pupils? It's because the word comes from the Latin pupilla or something like that, which means tiny doll, and that is describing the reflection of yourself that you see in somebody else's pupils. Can you see yourself reflected in my pupils, or can you just not see them at all? From here it looks like I haven't really got any, and that's a bit strange. Anyway, enough about pupils. Hi, let's just start off with a weird random fact. This is a favorites video, and I do love weird random facts, so how about if you know any weird random facts, post them in the comments below. I'm sure we would all like to know. Anyway, hi, hello, how are you? How's it going? I do favorites videos when there's been like a whole bunch of stuff lately that I've thought was just good enough to mention to you. So today I have some really nice sweet things I think to share with you, some of which have come directly from you. For example, this necklace I have on here, if you can see it, black on black on black. Thank you so much to Desdemona store for sending me all that wonderful handmade jewelry. That was so awesome of you, and yeah, I'm already wearing it, so thank you. Since I've had my parcel pod going game, my PO box type thing, I've had some really lovely, nice, meaningful letters and things from some of you, which is always super exciting. There's a couple of things here that I really wanted to show off today because I just think they're so wonderful. But first of all, one of the things that I have been loving lately, and I suppose a lot of us are now desperately in search of because we're all stuck inside, we're all trapped in our homes, God knows how long, hopefully not too long. Here in New Zealand they've told us we're not allowed to leave our homes unless it's absolutely necessary for the next 4 weeks. So yeah, thank goodness for the internet and for streaming and YouTube. I'm doing a lot of live streams and stuff these days. I'm doing quite a few live streams these days, and Mr. Owl is doing Twitch, so if you want some extra entertainment, we are here for you. And who else is here for you is the people who have very kindly sponsored this video, which is Shudder. You've probably heard me talking about Shudder before. It is an online streaming service just for horror, for scary movies, thrillers, splatters. I've really been enjoying it lately. Like, sometimes you're just in the mood for that kind of thing, right? Shudder has the largest and fastest growing collection, a human curated collection of scary movies that you can watch whenever you like. It's only $5.99 for the month or $56.99 for the year. And what's pretty cool, especially at this time while so many of us are being exiled in our own homes, is that if you go to shudder.com and enter this code, you can join Shudder for 30 days for free. How fucking sweet. That'll help you get through your self-quarantine and isolation, and that gets you unlimited ad-free access on all your usual devices. There is a lot of stuff on there that you won't find anywhere else. There's a lot of Shudder exclusive movies and series and content. There's so much stuff on there. Mr. Owl and I watched a couple of films recently which we'd heard had been awarded the titles of Best Movie and Best Horror Movie last year on Rotten Tomatoes, and they are called One Cut of the Dead, it's a Japanese movie, and a Mexican one called Tigers Are Not Afraid. I went in there with high expectations, knowing how highly thought of they were, and at the end I was like, okay, they deserved that. One Cut of the Dead, the Japanese one, to start with I was like, what is this? This is so silly, this is stupid, I'm so glad we stuck with it because it was actually super clever. It was really clever and totally worth watching, very entertaining. So that's One Cut of the Dead. I also watched a film that one of my friends has been trying to get me to watch for absolutely ages called Ginger Snaps. You might have heard of it. I finally watched that and I did really like it. Partially it was really sad, but otherwise it was quite funny and just a really good movie. A really good way to distract yourself with some creepy shit. Like I said, there's so much stuff on there, so you're not going to get bored. Remember, go to shudder.com and enter the code Black Friday and get yourself Shudder for free for 30 days to try. Lots of creepy entertainment. We're all in different parts of the world, but I know that a lot of us are trapped at home right now for quite a long time. A lot of us are looking for ways to fill the time, so here I've given you a suggestion. A streaming service just for us weirdos. I love when I'm able to give you guys free stuff or discounts on things. The next thing I have to show you just really made my heart glow when it came in the post. It's a total surprise, and that is this book. This is one of the books in the Scarlet and Ivy series, if any of you have heard of those. I guess they're children's books, right? So I guess they're for about, well, judging by the adorable reviews written in the front, I guess they're for maybe that kind of age range. The author is Sophie Cleverly, and Sophie is one of my patrons on Patreon, and she sent me this lovely letter saying that she watched a lot of my videos while she was writing this book. This one's called The Curse in the Candlelight, and that there's a character in it who was a little inspired by me. And while I was reading it aloud, Yeah, I can see. It seems to be that there might be 6 books in this series. This is the 5th one, I think. So while reading it, I got the feeling that like if I had read all the books from the very beginning, I would know a lot more about the characters and their histories and stuff, which does sound like there was a lot of interesting stuff that happened. It's about these twin girls, Scarlet and Ivy, who are at this school where all kinds of mayhem seems to happen. There's this new girl who started at school this year and everybody seems to think she might be a witch. And it's nice and spooky too. I feel like when I was that age I would have just loved this series. It's got black cats and Halloween and spells and curses and a graveyard. A little bit spooky. I would have read the shit out of this when I was 10. So I know a lot of you have children or nephews and nieces and things, so I thought it'd be a nice thing to recommend you. It's interesting because each chapter switches between the perspective of the 2 twins. At first I was like, oh, that's weird, but it was really easy to follow. It was so well written that even without looking at whose perspective the chapter was from, you could tell because each twin has their own distinct voice. So thank you so much to Sophie Cleverly. That just really made me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. It was an honor to have served as inspiration for this character. I'll find a link maybe where you can get these online, like perhaps Amazon, or I usually get all my stuff from Book Depository, so I'll have a wee look on there. Next thing I have to show you is also from one of you, from someone right here in New Zealand, who I believe has a little craft shop called Lovecraft. It's a little me. I just think these sorts of things are so sweet. Look at its hair, man. Wow. This is it here, Lovecraft, New Zealand. This looks like it took ages to make. If you look closely, it seems that the eyes are embroidered, everything's been crocheted. It's even got little piercings. The hair is so soft and boofy. It's kind of got the hairstyle I had when I was growing out my death hawk and I had those blonde bits on the sides. I'm about to pull up its skirt. It's got petticoats, like a big boofy petticoat. It's got like a little lace sort of corsety top on, and I just love the hair. My name is Lee and I live in New Zealand. My sister and I have a small craft business making crochet and knitted spooky toys, mobiles, dolls and other fun stuff. It felt really, really special that so much effort and love had gone into something like this, and I will keep this very, very safe. Thank you so much, Lee. Just more. Speaking of hair, I'll move on to some beauty products and I will wrap up with some music. On those live streams that I've been doing every week, a lot of you are always asking if there are any good bands I've heard of lately, so towards the end of this video I'll mention a couple that I think you might enjoy. So speaking of hair, I'm always using root cover-up sprays. I'm using one right now. My roots are like that friggin' long. My hair seems to grow very quickly, and because my hair is ginger, it's kind of like not a good color for roots. But I asked Mr. Owl if he had anything, and he had this, which is a little bit fancy, but I reckon this has to be the root spray to end all root sprays. It's from Kryolan, which is, you know, that special effects makeup company for wigs and hair effects for theatre, movie and TV. But I've found that it makes an excellent root spray. And those root sprays are often really expensive too. This is so thick and dense. You just psh, very quickly, it like a little bit goes a long way. I haven't looked online to see what sort of colors and stuff they have. The only thing that I found that I don't particularly like about it is that it has a tendency to crumble. A wee while after I put it on, I'll find that there might be like little flakes of it on my face, neck or shoulders, wondering if that's just my own fault. But Mr. Owl says he hasn't had that problem at all, so it might just be that I'm using too much of it or using it too close to my head or something. I don't know, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. Quite a lot cheaper than those other root sprays I've seen, which are a lot smaller. In the nature of things that are black, now I don't usually use a lot of stuff from Lush just because it's so expensive. I know people do a lot of Lush hauls and people love Lush. I love how it's all handmade and all very natural and cruelty free, but what puts me off is usually the price. I go in there and I'm like, oh, I really like this, but holy yeah, why is that so expensive? A wee while ago, I went there and I treated myself to something that I just really wanted to try. So I had always loved the Coal Face soap from Lush, and they've recently changed the recipe on that, which really bummed me out. I really liked Coal Face primarily because I loved the smell. I might be a little bit weird. I really like the smell of coal. It reminds me of my grandparents' house because my grandma had a coal range and I guess they always had their fire going. Maybe subconsciously that's why I like the smell of coal and find it comforting. I really wanted to try out this Dark Angels cleanser. A tub of fresh cleanser, and it smells just like, almost exactly like the Coal Face soap. Don't be frightened to use this jet black cleanser, and it really is. Oh, so lovely. Can you even see it there? It's so dark. It is a jar of void. It's not just the coal that gives it its smell. It's also got sandalwood and rosewood in it, so I think that contributes to it very much because I also like those things. You only need a wee pinch of it and you moisten it in some water, rub it on your face, and it's a really good cleanser and exfoliating scrubbiness at the same time. And afterwards your face just feels so clean, because it actually is so clean, and it's non-drying. This is my second one. It takes ages to get through it as well. Not cheap by any means, but it actually takes such a long time for you to get through it. Totally necro face scrub. Now, there's a lot of soap companies that I like, and I will be writing more articles about various soap companies on my website, where I do blogs and do like store spotlights on various independent, maybe like Etsy shops, like, you know, various little indie shops that I think are particularly cool. It took my mum a long time to get my sense of aesthetics and to like really get what I like, but every time she gets me a gift these days, I'm like, fucking nailed it. Like, this is awesome, I love it. Thanks, Mum. My birthday, which has just been this month, she sent me some soaps from this company that I'd never heard of called Sailor Mouth Soaps. They're Australian, so if you're in Australia and you like creepy soap. This one here is called I'm Batty About You, and it's the smell of the weather turning. It does have quite a wet, earthy, slightly masculine scent to it. Sort of like a freshly washed man lying down on a forest floor. Also, I don't know if you can see that because I haven't taken the plastic off the outside, but that's got a raven skull or just a bird skull on the inside. Tea with milk and spices. I can't wait to use it. And there was a couple of wee ones as well. This one's called Brimstone. Ooh, it's red and black. That's cool. What is that? I should know. I was getting into like perfume making and candle making. It's one of those kind of holy scents. It's like maybe frankincense. And this one, which is black raspberry and vanilla. Oh, it's so colourful. Very, very nice. I love soap. One more beauty product. But you've heard me talk before about Tony Moly. I really like Tony Moly's skin things. I like their hand cream and their face creams and their face masks. I really love Tony Moly, not just for the adorable packaging. If you've ever seen Tony Moly stuff before, you know exactly what I mean. Everything comes inside like an adorable panda or an adorable piece of fruit or a vegetable or something. But I'd never tried any Tony Moly makeup before. I would like to try more of it. I'm always looking for a lip product that's like a lip dye that's the exact color of fresh blood. I like to do, you may have noticed, I like to put like a little bit of lip dye or like red right on the inside of my lip, so it looks like I've got just a bit of fresh blood sitting on my lips. Maybe that's a bit morbid and weird, but that's a look that I like to do. And I saw these, and these are just quite gentle lip dyes. Like, you, honest to God, you don't need very much of it at all. You just need the look at that color, man. You only need the tinsiest little dot of it, and you can dab it on, and it stays there. The more you put on, the brighter it gets. So if you want really bright red lacquered lips that isn't going to come off, these little peeky beaky bucket thingies, this color is called what? I don't know. It's all in Korean. The one that looks like this. The reason I like this one is because look at that color. Is that not the color of fresh blood? It's hard to find a lip color that really is bloody. One that when you smear it, it doesn't just go pink or whatever. Only to assuage those of you who are always looking for new music to listen to and have been asking me lately, I will make my Spotify playlist public. I keep not getting around to doing it. A couple of bands I've been listening to a lot lately who I just think have a really cool sound that I think a lot of you would really enjoy. One is called In Death It Ends. It's mostly instrumental, but it's just so good. It's so beautiful. Whoever makes it is really mysterious. Their website reveals nothing about who they are. It just says no interviews, no live shows. Whoever they are, they have just made all this beautiful music. I just find it quite perfect. They call it ghost wave. It's quite, like, it's the kind of music that I would like to make myself, you know, was my feeling. It's gothic, it's dark, it's got a sort of creepiness to it, sort of ritual kind of element to it as well. So I'll link that below for you. In Death It Ends. Another band who I think are quite new that I've been listening to a lot lately and I think have a really good sound is, and I hope they forgive me for potentially pronouncing it wrong, it's called Sonsomba. Again, I'll link it below for you so you can go have a wee look, and please correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. If you're a fan of The Wake or Fields of the Nephilim, then you will definitely like this band. Really, really good. So I'll link that below for you as well. Please go give it a listen if you're looking for something new. Okay, like I said, if you've got Shudder suggestions, please mention them below, or just a random fact, because that would be fun. Why the hell not? Let's entertain and educate ourselves. Edutainment. Okay, I'm gonna start talking now. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Come and join us. Join our big grand family. You know you want to. Oh, I forgot to mention, just before I go, I have a new second channel called Dark Slumber, where I am just reading you bedtime stories, classical fairy tales, old stories, poems. I hope you really enjoy it. There's something about being read to that I find personally really helps me fall asleep, and I know that it helps a lot of others. So thank you so much to those of you who've sent me letters and things in my parcel pod. It means so much to me, that kind of thing. So as always, take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and I will see you again soon. Bye.